Hello, welcome to the February 13th, 2025 Massachusetts Pirate Party member meeting. You too can join us every other Thursday. You can find the listings for when meetings are coming up off of our masspirates.org website. Just look at the sidebar. There'll be a link going to talk with the page of our meeting schedule. My name's James O'Keefe. I live in Somerville. Uh, Others, please identify.
My name
Eli,
is Ryan Kelso. Oh,
you can go. My bad.
no, that's all right. My name is Ryan Kelso of Alston,
I'm Eli
Boston.
McGee of Leominster.
Good to talk with the two of you. So is there anything to add to the agenda?
Nothing from me.
I was looking at the debate going on in the State House today about committees of conference. They're making some changes to House rules that I think might be interesting to throw on there. Specifically, that they're supposedly making committees of conference public now.
Do you have any bill numbers for that, or
Yeah, that's S15.
do you have the title? I'll just put down making committees of conference. Um,
Yeah, report S15, proposed joint rules for the 2025 to 2026 legislative session.
and this would make the um, sorry, would you mind repeating what this particular change would do?
Yeah, it would make committees of conference open to the public, and I mean, it's kind of vaguely worded, but my impression is that they would be provided online just like every other committee hearing. Currently, they're just a blank room, black box.
So this would make conference committee meetings open to the public.
Yeah, with the exception, there's a clause in there that if the majority of the committee votes to enter an executive session, then it wouldn't be open to the public. So who knows whether that clause will be used more frequently, less frequently.
Right. I think that's kind of standard.
That they're open or closed.
No, that a majority can vote to make it an executive committee, an executive meeting, and thus not open to the public.
Right.
That said, all meetings should be open to the public. All right, I added it under other bills to review. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So for reports from me, I really don't have anything to report. Just been trying to figure out what to do with developments. I don't know. Administrative coup, fascist coup, whatever you want to call it. Destruction of the federal government, oncoming recession, invasion of Greenland. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of a just almost like it's an intentional deluge of news, constant flow to keep everyone as distracted as possible.
Move fast and break things. Although I put something out and someone remarked, move fast and kill people, which, if they get rid of Medicaid, that will do. We can get to that shortly. So any other things to report?
None here.
Eli?
No, nothing here.
Okay. All right, so decisions, endorsements. As I said, I put together a page of various news articles about the measures that the Trump administration has been putting in place to lay off certainly thousands of people. I think the figure I saw was there were 200,000 federal employees that were probationary, and they were basically going to lay them all off, or at least try to do that. And then there's 70,000 people who took their buyout, such as it is, if they even deliver on that. And now they're doing other layoffs. So, yeah, I thought it was amusing. Like after the plane crash in New York, like the very next day, they were like sending out an email to FAA controllers, like, "Oh yeah, hey, if you want to quit, we'll pay you till September." How's that going to work with the air traffic control system?
And there's a huge shortage in the industry too.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, all I'll say is inflation can come from two shocks, right? It can come from an increase in demand and a decrease in supply. And if you decrease the supply, well, prices still go up. So anyways, there's a page for that. And then there's at least, it's not complete by any stretch of the imagination. Certainly not all the things that I've seen have gone there. I was like, what was it? Pennsylvania is expecting, they're supposed to be given $1 billion in funding, and the feds haven't dispersed that. And in New York, what is it? They took away $100 million or 50. It was some many millions of dollars just withdrew out of their account. Like, we gave you the money, but then no, we're taking it away. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. So one of the things that I will not show here because of my own technical difficulties is I also put together things to do when fascists are taking over. So I put some links there. These are on their wiki. For those of you watching at home, we'll link to them in the description. But anyways, I don't know if any other interesting documents you've seen, either of you, or suggestions. Setting up a Tor node, probably an intermediate node, was also a good thing.
You could look for that interview with I was just watching it with Elon Musk and Donald Trump and Musk's 3-year-old kid in the White House Oval Office. That was kind of shocking. Not really in terms of content. The content is pretty just a bunch of nonsense. The visual.
Yeah, I heard I saw there was a video of the kid telling Donald Trump to shut up while his father was speaking.
Yeah,
It wasn't clear if there
over.
was an expletive in there or not. So, sorry, you were saying.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
All right. Well, if folks watching this have any suggestions, add them in the comments. send us an email, info@masspirates.org. We always like suggestions. So, bills to review. Last time, we had a bunch of things like the Location Shield Act, some stuff on facial recognition, unmanned aerial systems, civil asset forfeiture, right to repair. And then, Ryan, you suggested S15, which is proposed joint rules, make conference committees open to the public unless majority wants it to be an executive meeting and thus not open to the public. Do you just want to come out and say, yay, that's a good thing, we should do that? Or they should do that. We support it.
Yeah, I mean, it was also, I think just the whole, as a side note, I think the whole video from the joint rules amendments and the arguments from the legislatures was pretty interesting. There were a lot of things brought up by the Senator John F. Keenan. He
Mm-hmm.
had like a whole long list of amendments. And they, they would go through each one. He'd give a little spiel about why. It was stuff like, make this thing public, make this thing available quicker. The audit for 2023 of the Senate's activities, apparently still not available. So, I guess a good resource for here's some areas to look for future improvement. But one thing that they have done is made that change. And so for me, yeah, it's definitely an approve.
Yeah, I see. Amendment 21 is Mr. Keenan moves to amend the report by striking in Rule 1D the following sentence. The use of visual aids, including, without limitation, posters, displays, or charts shall be permitted only upon approval of the chairs. Sadly, that failed. 22 was Mr. Keenan moves to amend the report by inserting in Rule 12A after the words two-year legislative session the following words, provided further that all conference committee reports shall require a call for yeas and nays. That one was 9 yeas to 29 nays. He did have one that was adopted, 26. Misters Keenan and Montigny moved to amend the report by inserting at the beginning of Rule 2A after the word member the following words, or immediate family member of the member, officer, employee. By inserting or beginning of Rule 2A after the word purchase the following words, or sell. And by inserting in Rule 2A after the words granting to and following words or depriving. Man, we really need a GitHub for this thing.
So I can give some context surrounding that because that's pretty
Oh, thanks.
vague, but it has to do with financial gain made from stock purchases and investments relating to Senate activities. So they had just banned it for members, but they also and the wording was just kind of like it's kind of a wording thing, but it makes it now so that not only can the members not do it, but a family member can't. Um, Not only can they not purchase stocks, but they also can't sell them. So obviously, there's two ways to make money. I don't know exactly what the third one was all about, but that's what I recall from the discussion that was being had.
Thanks for that context. So, I didn't see here.
Yeah,
Did
they
they
ended up
adopt it?
adopting it.
Okay.
Yep, 38-0.
Okay, so that
Kind
would
of
be
hard to
Amendment
argue against that
26.
one.
No, I don't mean, sorry, I don't mean that one. The other one you were talking about making conference committees open.
That was let's see. Well, there's another one for I think that was on the Senate rules. So it's S15 is the joint rules, and then S16
Okay.
is the Senate rules. Sorry, I'm a little disorganized.
No, it's fine.
Or no, I'm sorry, S14 is the proposed Senate rules for the 2025 to 2026 legislative session.
I see a lot of his stuff was rejected. Roll calls were like 5-32. Oh, so did that get in?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Oh, oh, okay. All right. Thank you for that. Yeah, well, we can add these to the meeting notes. It's always good to see how the sausage is made. Dang. Okay. So sadly, I mean, they have their own rules. We can force rules on them if we want a ballot measure, get 90,000 people to sign it and then get it passed. So there's a bunch of bills to review. As I mentioned, we put them up last time. Any other bills folks have seen that we should consider reviewing and deciding whether to endorse or not, or oppose?
I was personally interested in, there are actually several of these, but legislation to legalize psilocybin medically. But I don't know if the party has a position on that.
Yeah, let's end the drug war. I think we came out. Yeah, I mean, we certainly came out in favor of the previous ballot measure to allow certain psychedelics. Obviously, with got to be careful, but no reason to criminalize it. So yeah, if you want to, if you do, you want to send the name of that bill and we can add it to the list. It's always better if
Yeah, I'll
other
look it
people are
up and
looking at
find one.
bills. Great, or you can just mail it to the activist mailing list, whichever. So yeah, just for folks out there, if there's any bills that you see that you'd like us to review and endorse or oppose, and certainly, we'd love to hear them. And if that's something you want to lead the effort on, that would be great. And many hands make light work. So, shall we move on to the next topic?
Sounds good.
All right. So we discussed how we do member meetings, and if you look at the articles of agreement, member meetings are supposed to occur in March and sorry, not in March, in basically the beginning of winter and fall. For the many years, we've been doing them either weekly or bi-weekly, as we are currently. So if I guess the articles of agreement need to be kind of updated, and so just putting out what they are, linking to them, what sections need to be done. Another thing is that they need to be online, and the question is, how do we want to have conferences hook into that? the conference that the winter conference that we had was had a number of people who showed up, and we're still working on the recordings of those. But it would be good to have a spring conference, most especially because we could then actually get all of our voters and encourage them to join. So looking at the articles of agreement, we can have a conference whenever we want. So there's nothing in there that prevents us, I believe. But just thinking about how we want to update those to make them conform to how we're functionally operating, rather than not keeping, having something that doesn't work for us, and just updating our rules. So that some of the things to think about are, should we only hold them over the internet? How do conferences fit in? Are 2 meetings enough? Are some of the topics that I think make sense. But now, doubtless, there are other interpretations and suggestions. So our plan last meeting was to throw that out there now and think about it further for the next meeting and decide one way or the other, or change it. And there's no rush. We don't need to do it. And obviously, current events are a little more pressing. So, but it's also nice to have dotted I's and crossed T's. I mean, all of our meetings are open. We don't have private sessions. We don't have executive sessions. We we do our best to record things, and certainly when they were over IRC, have written transcripts. So, we try to be as transparent and open as we can be. Anything from looking at that, or should we just move on? Since the plan was not to decide now, but just review. I mean, I can go through why don't I at least look at the articles of agreement, the relevant sections. So section 4.2 under article 4, member meetings, 4.2.1, the member meeting will be held over the internet, which, we've been doing. 4.2.2, the party leadership will determine technical solutions for the meeting. The choice of technology should be taken into account to enable all members to participate. Anyone can join these. Moving over to another tool where people do not have to attend the meeting but could still participate in terms of voting and proposing solutions and things like that is something we've long thought about and have not, unfortunately, been able to get that working. So that's something that could be considered, but there's flexibility here. 4.2.3, regular membership meetings will run for 6 weeks, with all voting matters of substance located in the last 2 weeks. That's something we haven't done because we just do them every week or every other week. So 4.3 time, 4.31, members will meet as regular member meeting 2 times a year. These meetings are known as spring and autumn meetings. Again, do we need to do that? How do conferences fit in? And then 4.3.2, the winter meeting always begins the first week of February, and 4.3.3, the summer meeting always begins at the first week of August. So those are kind of the main points, or main areas where we're not consistent. We are adhering to the spirit, but not the letter, shall we say. So, anyhow, any thoughts, or should we just move on and then consider it in 2 weeks?
I vote move on.
I vote move on too. So let's do that. So U.S. Pirate Party issues. Uh, Eli, do you have any updates for that?
There. Well, first of all, I managed to attend the meeting, which is a good surprise.
Huzzah.
Um, so last Sunday there wasn't a meeting because of the Super Bowl. And the week prior there were no decisions made, but there is beginnings of a talks of a like soft merger with the Transhumanist Party.
Okay.
A merger, as in like both parties maintain their whole autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like endorsements for national offices, those would be joint. To the best that that's how I understand it as of now.
Okay.
It's very early in the talking stage.
Thanks for that. Um, and then Ryan, I think you sent me email. Am I mistaken?
No, you're right. I sent kind of a lot of stuff. So sorry.
Oh, no, sorry at all. I'm just, I'm, between work and deluge with the emails, which I need to delete and deal with. I just, maybe I'm mistaken. Did you say you wanted to be considered for U.S. Pirate Party rep as well? Or am I confusing you
Yeah,
with
I
somebody
would
else?
be happy to.
Okay. All right. I mean, I know Joe's busy and has expressed a desire to step down in that. So maybe in 2 weeks' time we could add that to the agenda. Um, we haven't set the actual meetings, but it's always good to have redundancy and deal with replacements. Would you be able to attend that meeting in 2 weeks' time?
When's the time frame?
It would. Well, I mean, it would be 14 days, so the 27th of February, Thursday.
Oh, yeah, our meeting?
Or
Yes.
or do you mean? Oh, okay. Or do you mean the national meetings?
Yes, yeah.
Eli, do you want to speak to that?
Those are Sundays at 9. They alternate between IRC and virtual or video. I'm not 100% sure what the next one is, but on the party's Discord, they announce it a couple minutes prior. So I'll be able to check that and I'll reach out to you later. Or check what the last one was and then go from there.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll put that on the agenda and get that out to folks so people are aware of that. Um, Probably also a good thing to have a call for people to put their names in for the various open positions and so forth. All right, so anything else, Eli?
No, I don't have anything to add.
Okay. So moving down to projects, I when I updated this, I just cut and pasted, and I didn't remove the winter conference review. We discussed that 2 weeks ago. Had some suggestions there. Um, the pirate, just need to rename this Pirate News. So Pirate News. Is this Sunday a good time for recording?
I
If
may
you're
not
not,
be on. Fine by me.
okay. I mean, you're welcome to join. Um, I mean, I can send out email and see who's available on Sunday, and then we can plan accordingly. Um, Okay, so voter outreach, getting all of that information from cities and towns continues. No update at the moment. Hopefully this weekend I'll have more information. Unfortunately, also no update on local campaigns. Be sending out information this weekend. So that's all that I have for the agenda. Is there anything else folks want to discuss?
On here.
All right.
Nothing else.
Oh, thanks. So shall we adjourn then? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye. So with that, thank you, Eli. Thank you, Ryan, very much for participating in this. You too, who are watching this, can join us at these meetings. And, if you're a member, just come by. We'd like your input, and we'd always want your effort in helping us build the party. So with that, we will adjourn. You can find us at masspirates.org. This will be up on YouTube and other places. So with that, thank you very much. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Eli. And thank you folks for watching. Take care.